All right. I believe I'm live here. If I'm not, forgive me because, again, I'm still getting used to this. So I wanted to go live here and I wanted to shoot a video pretty much just dealing with a lot of the catalysts that we're seeing now with the media and a lot of the stocks that are going on that are rallying now and these squeezes. And also, this kind of plays into the crypto market as well because the media really controls the market on the short term. So I wanted to go cover that and go over some tactics to pretty much just give you an idea on how to win and to not pretty much get caught like holding the bag or in a situation chasing the hype or like the media when it comes down to these plays. So the first thing I want to start out with is just pointing out that the media completely controls the stock market, the crypto market, etc. in the short term. That is 100%. It's completely under their control. The fundamentals and the balance sheets, the actual functions of the company, they control the stock market in the long term. But the short term is going to be completely done by the media catalyst that's going on. Any like good news, and this goes negative as well. So any bad news is going to affect the stock market in the short term. So you have to kind of have your strategy before you get into the play and have a percentage saying that at this number, at this percentage amount, this is where I'm going to exit this stock. Because if you're on there trying to time it or what looks good, or um, if they say it's like a moonshot or something like that, and if you're going to pretty much just chase the hype, you're usually going to get slaughtered because there's a lot of big money in these plays, and we've seen this today with Fun and Dwac. The short plays come in almost immediately and they come in very aggressively and they start putting up these walls because they say, hey, this stock is overvalued and they're going to try and push this stock down immediately. And if you don't have your set goals in mind ahead of time, you're going to get caught holding the bag. Oh, no problem. No, I have no problem getting on here and addressing this because this transfers all across the stock market and into the crypto market as well. Because the media can make a bad company good and a good company bad. Like, so you have to kind of have your strategy. So I wanted to address that for all of my followers because I know that a lot of you are new investors and I didn't want to, have getting to receive like emails saying that, oh, hey, I got in here. Do you think it's going to go up and stuff like that? With these plays, you have to kind of have your strategy ahead of time. I'm talking about Fun and Dwac specifically. These are the companies that are pretty much going to help Trump build his social media platform. So these are the ones that are pretty much having like a huge rally. Yesterday and today, I think they're up like 1,000, 2,000% in like the last 24, 48 hours. And we can talk about long term that I do believe long term that especially if this website and everything pretty much goes through smoothly and there's like a huge following for it, long term these stocks cannot actually. I mean, they can actually do pretty well, and we may not see those entry prices again that we saw over the last couple of days. Like it's starting out like at $1.50 and stuff like that. Because long term, if this actually moves and becomes a functioning social media website and has like a following, like these stocks can very well be worth, several $100s each. So, it's not, I'm not going to say as of right now, I know it's kind of early, but I'm not going to say that it's a bad thing to hold these long term. But if you're just in it for like a quick turnaround, then you need to have your goals ahead of time because you never know. The media can come out and say, hey, or the company spokesperson can say, hey, nothing's finalized yet. We're not actually, it may be a couple years before we can get to, a functioning state to go live. And then, the stock goes through the floor. So you got to have these in mind, and never be afraid. You can't go broke taking profits. So, these stocks, if you're up 200, 300%, don't worry about going to the moon or, it doing 3,000% and all this kind of stuff like that. Never be afraid to take profits. And even if it's just removing your house money, and if it's just moving your principal and you want to let the house money ride, don't be afraid of that because if you are afraid to take profits just because you're pretty much going to a moonshot, then that's where you're going to get, you have the potential to lose some money. What about Dogecoin? You can ask me some specific questions. I'm just addressing what's going on now, but that's what the chat's for. You can ask me something specific. Where do I see crypto in a year? Crypto, I believe that crypto is going to pretty much, I know it's different from the stock market, but I believe that it's going to mirror the stock market and actually exceed it in terms of gains just because of its new, just because it's so new. I think that crypto is going to see, because I think crypto is in its infancy stages, and I think crypto is going to see overall, outside of the main catalyst, I think crypto is going to provide amazing returns year over year for quite some time. So I think that I'm long in crypto. I have my positions. I go over them often, but I am very bullish on crypto. The crypto market in general, I think is going to do well, but I'm very bullish on crypto. I just got in. Is this why AMC plummeted? People are going to move money around and chase, gains often. So I can't say that it's not why AMC plummeted, but when you have certain stocks that are doing 1,000%, 2,000% in less than a day, that's pretty attractive. So it's it's likely that someone moved money or that people move money around to try and not guess, but try and receive some of these gains, especially if they've been in the red for so long. So it's very likely, and you can see pulls on this, even if it's in crypto. I mentioned this a while ago. You see pulls like in crypto with like some of the knockoff coins, or if another coin comes out and does 600%, it can certainly have a pull on the market because that volume just doesn't come out of nowhere. We've seen examples of the entire market being red, but if there's a squeeze play or something like that, you'll see that the stock that's actually rallying, it'll pretty much be like a safe haven. If you have a sea of red in the stock market and you have that one green stock, everybody's going to run to that, like, let me offset these losses. So they can certainly have a pull on the market. So I'm going to stroll up and get some more of these. It's time for retail investors to plan a strike on the stock market. Yeah, they can. I know for the most part, especially with Gary, we're pushing to make a lot of things fair. I know that a lot of people were upset this morning about the halting of the stocks that were booming this morning. And I mentioned that even in my group, there is an imbalance there because there, as we all know, there's no halting in a dark pool, or if it goes up 1,000% or whatever the case may be, or if they're receiving a certain amounts of gains or crashing it down, they have like SSR when it comes to shorting, but after you've shorted it down, you already have the downward momentum, so you can just kind of keep it going with sell-off. So even then, it's still in the hedge funds advantage. So you can certainly say that there's a lot of work that needs to be done. I think that on Twitter, if you look at like Gary Gensler's posts and stuff like that, we're pushing for a lot more transparency to kind of make the market fair and kind of see what's going on, because the dark pool has its place, but I just don't believe it should be controlled by market makers. So I think that we can have a lot more fairness in the market if we didn't have like market makers that are involved in every aspect of purchasing a stock. So I think that'll be a big step. But I completely agree. We definitely need more fairness in the market. Let's see. Ask about Bitcoin. How's it? As it climbs in price, some say you may never sell your Bitcoin, just hold, maybe take loans. Is that feasible? I think that at some point we'll all be trading in like Satoshis. I think that Bitcoin will certainly hit six figures. I'm long Bitcoin. I'm very bullish on Bitcoin, and Bitcoin is, it has top of the mind awareness. Bitcoin is like the official face of the crypto market. It's Bitcoin to the crypto market is what Coca-Cola is to soda. Like, it's literally the face of the coin. So I don't see that it's going anywhere. I don't care what type of sell-offs or swings or regulation that they have on that they incorporate. If the crypto market exists, Bitcoin is going to be there and it's going to do well year over year. And I think that even with the corrections, if you look at the charts in history, you'll see that Bitcoin is, even in general, like despite the gains that we've seen now, if you just look at history, we've seen these percentages and these jumps year over year. So Bitcoin is still very bullish. And the fact that they have the scarcity value, I think, and institutions that are piling into it, I think that we're guaranteed to see Bitcoin in the six figure and even seven figures, given enough time. Bitcoin is going to do amazing things, and we'll pretty much just start trading into with derivatives because it'll be out of the price range of a lot of the common folks. So, very bullish on Bitcoin. As far as taking loans out on Bitcoin, that's kind of hard to say because I don't know what kind of regulation we're going to have. I guess it can be if it happens, if it's, I mean, it's possible. I guess I don't have a concrete answer for that just yet. I'm not sure how that would work because I'm not even a big fan of the ETFs, but I guess it's possible if they can work out the legislation behind it. Why do you think retailers are being so hesitant to adopt Dogecoin or other cryptos? Um, the crypto market is new, and when you have something that's literally taken off within the last year, and you have something that has went up 11,000%, crashed 80%, which is the nature of crypto, not just Dogecoin or any of the meme coins per se. Like even Bitcoin does it too. When you have something that's new and you see these price swings, they're going to have to kind of account for that, it being vital. So I think that's a lot of the hesitation in there. But I mentioned this in one of my videos. This is one of the ways that we will take the power from the whales and make the institutions pretty much the largest wallets holding crypto, because when they have these large cryptos or they're doing a lot of business in these cryptos, they're not going to pretty much dump it all at one time to offset the assets that they currently hold or that they're going to receive in the future. So they'll have like a controlled liquidation there. So I think that they're pretty much just working out the fundamentals behind taking crypto. And I think that the whole thing as far as for, okay, well, how is this going to be taxed? So it's a lot of question marks out there. So I think that that plays a role like long term for how the companies are going to interact. But, you always have those companies that are going to adapt first before you have that tidal wave of new companies coming in. So I think that we'll have more companies that will accept crypto, but they're just kind of waiting on those kinks to be worked out. Let's see. I just purchased Shiba about 2 weeks ago. Do I have to purchase on Coinbase Pro in order to buy and sell with limit orders? My, I don't know. I'm not sure about Coinbase Pro. I think that I don't know if you have to do Pro or not. I don't know if someone else can answer that. I don't purchase on Coinbase, but I'm not familiar with Coinbase enough to answer that. No problem, Maria. Let's see. What does Dogecoin need to make it a stable coin? That would have to be some blockchain differences and so pretty much some adaptions as well. The thing about it is, I don't know if to make Dogecoin a stable coin, because a lot of the time that when we ask for to these changes, we kind of have to account for we have like causes and effects. So when we ask for these to make currencies a trading point or to incorporate them with business, we also kind of we have to make sure that outside of thinking short terms as far as for what is this going to do for my portfolio, we have to say, okay, what is the IRS going to think about this? What is the SEC going to think about this? So we have to kind of play, chess versus checkers here, and not just look at things like in the short term. As far as to make it a stable coin, I'm not sure. I think that probably some changes to like the blockchain and maybe even a like as far as like a production rate, I would like to see that not eliminated, because I don't think Dogecoin, as far as where we want to go, would do well with um, a scarcity value. But I think that's just a slower production rate would help a lot. But I'll have to do some more research, and I think I'll post about that. That's a very good question. So I'll do some more research in as far as for what would make it actually a great stable coin. Let's see, David, do you think this will explode over the weekend coming into Monday? Phun and Dwac. It is very possible. We saw that with Dwac this morning. We saw that it jumped from I think $19 to like $157. Very possible that we can see a huge run up on Monday. We saw some sell walls and some short positions on fund side, kind of because technically the first one you can kind of catch it off guard, catch people off guard, and that one's typically is going to have the least resistance. In this case, it's going to be Dwack, and that's going to be you can compare that to like a GameStop. When you catch them off guard, you're going to have the least resistance going up. But that second one, Fun, they're a little bit more prepared for it. Same thing with like a AMC position. They're going to be a little bit more prepared for it, so it doesn't mean it's not going to go, but just kind of know that's not going to be the same principles or as quickly with that. But it's very possible that we can see Fun and Dwac go up considerably on Monday. And again, depending on how this website turns out, these cannot be bad plays. They may very well not be bad plays to even hold long term, because if this social media site is a huge success, we may never see those prices again that we saw over the last couple of days. So these may very well be great long-term plays. Snap sell-off. Yeah, people are going to take profits. That's one of the people, institutions, traders, all of them. They're going to take profits. That's one of the things I wanted to start this live about. Even with Fun and Dwack, you got to be if you're short term, you got to have your percentages and um, if you got to have your percentages and your stakes as far as for how long, what type of game do I want to have? Is it 150%? Is it 50%? Is it 30%? And don't get the shiny object syndrome and say, oh my God, it's going to go to the moon. That's how you get killed. Take your profits. You'll never go broke. How drastic of a change with the Ethereum Doge coin bridge next year? No, I'm very excited. Even when the creator mentioned them, I was very excited about the Ethereum Doge bridge. I think that, um, especially since we're having like some form of like utility and branching out as far as for businesses, I think that we can see a dramatic change, especially like in price and even the seriousness that Doge kind of because Doge still is mostly owned by retail. I know we use Bitcoin and Ethereum, well, primarily Bitcoin, to kind of use it as a market catalyst to see how the market's going to go and kind of grade it against Doge. About, oh my God, Bitcoin's rallying. Why isn't Doge moving? But what we're really talking about is institutional money versus retail money. And when we have more of a bridge or a connection to some of those coins that they not just consider making profit, but that they're actually long term in, it's going to add some kind of like some teeth to Dogecoin, kind of bring it further out from like that meme coin cloud that it has hanging over its head. So I think that we're going to be able to see like a big dramatic gain from like these partnerships, and even that's why I'm very excited about the AMC for Dogecoin. It's just going to further kind of add like that validation, and we're going to be able to see, because we're still holding our own in like that top 10 position. But I think that as we have these partnerships and as we build, it's going to add that validation, and we're going to see a significant amount of profit there. Let's see. What's your opinion on the government looking into people's bank accounts? um, yeah, see, I believe that most things are progressive, and I think that with when it comes down to like the PayPal's and the Cash Apps and the Venmos and stuff like that, with the rise of social media, there are influencers who are legitimately running 6 and 7 figure businesses off of these apps. And if it's not running through the bank, the IRS, because IRS, we know even based off of just with like hedge funds and stuff like that, we know that the government and all that kind of stuff, there are massively looking into our social media accounts and seeing how we're interacting with each other. So they know there's a lot of people that are, let's say, you can say not truthfully reporting taxes or avoiding them together. And I don't agree with it as far as, especially for like an invasion of like saying $600. And I think that that's pretty much just big government trying to keep a continuous eye um, on our bank accounts, and especially now with retail pretty much threatening to take control of the market and investing back from Wall Street into their own hands. There's a lot of things that I believe that they're being progressive about and saying that, okay, we need to get an eye on these transactions to see, okay, where exactly the money's going, because they're more so about controlling the masses, which is going to be like the middle class and the lower class versus the upper class, which is why you have people that can, if I want to move $10,000 out of the airport, I'm going to get held up in with the TA. But you can have billionaires like with the hedge funds and stuff like that. They can move billions of dollars to the Cayman Islands like relatively easily. And I think that what we have is just the imbalance. And I think that what's going on now, especially like in the markets, is we're exposing that. And they're going to try and take like some preventative measures and just kind of, just some kind of put some more eyes in places. I believe they're going to hire like another 10,000 agents, IRS agents, and stuff like that. And this is just pretty much going to trying to control as far as the movement and extracting as much money from us as possible. So this is why you have like things like tax raises and them saying, okay, well, we believe that there's X amount of dollars in taxes that aren't being paid. And so they're pretty much saying, okay, well, do we know that because don't get me wrong, I'm for capitalism, but we know that capitalism gets if you're producing jobs, you get a tax break. So technically, where does the tax revenue come from? And that's going to be the middle class, because depending on how poor you are, you're going to get tax write-offs or even so much government subsidies and help from the government that's going to offset any taxes that you do pay. So that puts the strain on the middle class to pay the taxes. And if the middle class is shrinking and the rich are still not paying taxes, or they're paying a lesser in order to get the incentives, and the poor is not paying taxes just because of the income brackets, then you only have one choice, and that's kind of like to kind of buckle down on the middle class. So that's sorry going to rant there, but I can actually make a whole video about that. But that's kind of where I see like them coming from as far as buckling down on the middle class, because they're going to need more money to, fund the country, fund these programs that we're doing, not to mention all the money that we've given out recently. So you got to kind of be prepared for that. And they're going to, I believe that even with these laws with crypto, we're going to see some tax laws coming. You can believe that. So because they're going to want more money. So just kind of keep an eye out for that. Okay. What kind of correction do you see for Bitcoin? 50 to 80% coming time frame. Yeah, I think that I still have my $20,000 Bitcoin correction sometime in the next year. Um, and I think that what because the market, as far as what we've seen, as far as for corrections in crypto market, the 50 to 80%, even on the high end 90%, that has not failed yet. That is, as of right now, this moment, that has happened 100% of the time after all time highs. So we have not seen a break from that just yet. And then again, I think that what may have happened this year is because of the influx of new investors, we could have possibly shortened the cycles, because technically speaking, the recovery that we've seen in crypto, I believe, was cut short by the amount of new money that came into the market. Because technically, it's not abnormal for these corrections or these consolidations to last 6 to 11 months. And so we may have shortened the cycle, or the market or the crypto market in general may be overbought right now, and we're due for a huge correction. So only time will tell, because again, I believe that we are starting like a new trend based off of the new amount of money that flooded into the market this year. But as far as for the correction, the 50 to 80%, 90% on the extreme, that has happened 100%. So I have no reason to doubt it now, until we break and set a new trend and I get some data behind it. I'll say otherwise, but as of right now, I think so, and I believe so that within the next year. Let's see. All right, Chris, I'm glad to have you on. Your 100 points, rant. Yes. No problem, Bubbles. Hello, Ashley. Let's see. All right, any other questions for me? So do I think Google will have a similar sell-off once earnings come out in December due to the April Apple AD effect? Google is going to be okay. So let's talk about Google and some of the staple stocks. So the reason why I say this is going to change the market is because when we have retail taking power back from hedge funds, we say, okay, well, the hedge funds are not going to pretty much pool our money together and invest in certain assets, because technically, since I believe like 1918 or something like that, the stock market has increased on average around 10% a year. And when we pile our money together in these funds or in these investment accounts and we turn them over to hedge funds, they have a they have the opportunity to kind of pull our money into certain stocks. So these are going to be like your catalyst or like your Fortune 500 companies, and that's pretty much why you'll say, oh, okay, well, you diversify and you invest in this the fund, and the outcome is kind of predictable because we have so much money going in, and then of course, they take the other money and they make way more money shorting positions, and kind of like a Ponzi scheme almost, because they'll pay out the even though they've spent the money and took it other places, they'll pay off the old investors with the new money. And you know how it goes, similar to like Social Security. But when it comes down to like Google and Apple or these staple companies, you can have a sell off, but it's not going to be dramatic. That I believe, because I don't know what you mean by like a sell off, but if you say like a correction, typically that's going to be like 10%. If you mean like a sell off as far as for an opportunity to buy, which is like 8 to 10%. Yeah, I believe that's possible. But if you're saying something like a recession or something like that, no, I don't believe that we're going to have that dramatic of a sell off of any of those um, staple coins, at least for another couple of years. So I hope that answers your question. I don't know if I answered it or not, but I hope that answers it. So again, when it comes down to, and I wanted to make sure for all the new people that are on here, when it comes down to like Fun and Dwac, just make sure, even in crypto, make sure that you have, if you're short term, make sure you have your percentages in play that you want to take profit and stick by it. Don't chase the shiny object syndrome or let media kind of hype you up into like holding and trying to force some astronomical gains. Never be afraid to take profit. And that's the whole purpose of this live, because if you are not long term, there's no reason why you need to be trying to hit a moonshot with every new coin or media coin that's pretty much pressed that push the stock or the crypto out in front of you. If you're at 50, 100%, take profit, take your house money, and let the rest ride. But you'll never go broke or get caught holding it back, taking a profit. Do I see the cannabis industry accepting cryptocurrency? Good question. Um, I believe cryptocurrency is going to be accepted broadly across most markets. I don't see. I know Gary said he's not against crypto and he's not going to do anything to kind of constrict the growth of it. So I don't see him doing anything damaging to where industry would reject it. So I can certainly see crypto being accepted across most markets, including the cannabis industry. What effect can Robinhood wallets have on Dogecoin? Robinhood wallets coming out. Um, I don't think it'll have necessarily an effect on Dogecoin, because if you want to sell your Dogecoin, you can. Now, Robinhood in general, they may lose a lot of customers, absolutely. But as far as the people that are holding Dogecoin, I don't believe that it will have like a negative effect on Dogecoin, because if you want to buy Dogecoin on other platforms, you can, which I believe other people are, especially the ones that are still upset with Robinhood. And the people that are simply just waiting on the wallets and like, okay, well, I'm out of here as soon as this wallet comes out, that'll have a negative effect on Robinhood, because they did receive a lot of their money this year from cryptocurrency. But as far as for Dogecoin, I don't believe it'll have that much of an effect on them, because if you believe in the coin, you're holding it, and that's on Robinhood or another platform. So the only thing that maybe had an effect on was um, whether or not you continue to purchase on Robinhood. So Robinhood, I believe, has already lost some revenue on there. So um, I think that for Dogecoin, it's not going to necessarily have an effect on it short term or long term. I think that Robinhood is going to be the biggest one that can get affected. Was it Rocco? Thanks for the okay. I guess there's YouTube. Turn on super chats now. Thanks. That is my first ever super chat. So thanks. Thoughts on XRP long term? No, I think XRP is going to do well, because I've actually looked at it. Oh my God, I want to say maybe like 4 or 5 months. And I haven't taken a position yet because I don't like spreading too thin. But I've actually been looking at XRP. It's one of the ones that I have been. It's on like my watch list as far as to take a position. But I don't have anything against XRP. My only grudge against coins right now is if they are have if their marketing campaign or if their strategy is against, pretty much or borrowing the media or the attention from another coin. That's my only thing that I have a disgruntle about as far as for crypto. So XRP, it's on my watch list. So I think that um, XRP is going to do well long term, and I may take another position because I know I don't like having more than like five positions. So, but XRP is on my watch list, so that may very well be my sixth position. Do I think Robinhood will offer staking to keep people? It's possible. Robinhood has has been very progressive with trying to save face. And if you go to Robinhood's Twitter account today, and if you look at any of the stocks that were squeezing today or had their massive pumps, you're going to see Robinhood. They put the notices out. They'll say brokerages or SEC, not Robinhood. This due to brokerages or SEC, not Robinhood. This stock was halted, and it'll literally say not Robinhood. And they put that on every one of those stocks that were moving. And they even made an announcement on Twitter. They're like, "Hey, these stocks were halted, but not Robinhood." So they were like, so I believe that they're going to do whatever they can to kind of save face. And of course, we know Vlad, he went on his press run and he made one, he did another interview like a week or so ago saying that, it's pretty much explaining what's happening. So, Vlad's going to do what's in the best interest for Robinhood. So if it's, if it's, if it has a possibility of saving some of the customers or rebuilding that trust within the community, I say Robinhood's going to do it because at the end of the day, yeah, Robinhood receives payment for order flow and all these other things like that, but it doesn't make sense to sacrifice yourself um, with all those partnerships if your company is not going to exist anymore. And people are pretty adamant, and people were extremely upset about what happened earlier this year. So I can see Vlad and Robinhood, even based off of now the quickness of saying, "Hey, don't blame us for this," etc. I can see them doing whatever it takes to save face there. Let's see. Thanks, Chris. Second super chat. Thanks, Mister. Was it Nix it, fix it? Thank you. Let's see. Read the Robinhood waitlist hit 1 million. Yeah, the Robinhood waitlist is up there. Yeah, I think I'm number like 180,000. But yeah, it's a lot of people are waiting on those wallets. Like we'll see. I'm very interested to see what happens after these wallets come out, just to kind of see like how many people are like close their accounts and stuff like that. I think that'll be certainly newsworthy. But I'm very curious to see how this works out. But yeah, a lot of people are upset, and a lot of people have completely vowed to be done with Robinhood forever. So um, I'm not surprised at all that it's over a million. Don Adams. Oh, thank you for joining VIP. I appreciate you. Let's see. Mr. Nixon, I was the first super chat. The bank was late. All right, thank you. Let's see. If I bought some Doge in January 2021 and some more in March 2021 and sold it in February of 2022, will the January buy be long-term taxed and not the March buy? You sold in February. Yeah, that's correct. So pretty much it's going to be, that year mark. So as long as it's over a year, I don't know if this is your first time like investing like on a brokerage, but they keep track of absolutely everything. If they don't mail you a copy, you'll be able to log in. They'll say, hey, your investment return and stuff is available, and they have the exact dates, times, like they have everything that you're going to need to do your taxes. So if it's over a year, you'll be fine. You'll get that lower tax rate. So, but yeah, they have the exact times, the amounts, all that kind of stuff like that. It'll be laid out for you. Yeah, so long as you're past that 12 mark, you're fine. Is the market crashing right now? Um, Last I checked, it wasn't crashing. It was a red day for sure, but I had to see something like around like 20-30% before I start saying a crash. It can be a correction, but I'll have to to check that. So a correction is going to be at least 10%. So I wouldn't say it's crashing right now. Like days like today, these are going to be like if you're if you're short term or if you want to, make like a quick profit and you see like your favorite companies, you're going to have the opportunity to pretty much get like your favorite company at like 10% off or 10-15% off, stuff like that, as far as like if there's like a correction, and you can kind of turn like a quick profit that way without having a lot of risk, because you're not chasing like a media coin or like a hype coin. You can kind of get in there, but I wouldn't consider this or if you just want like a great entry, I wouldn't say that the market is crashing right now. What is Dwack? Hold on, let me look it up. So I don't want to mess it up here. One sec. I'll read it for you. Sorry. Um, Digital World Acquisition Corp, and that's pretty much one of the tickers for the company that's going to help Donald Trump build his social media site. So that's why you see it rallying, and it did like 1,000%. A lot of people are trying to get in front of that. And of course, again, media kind of is the catalyst behind all short term. Well, not the catalyst behind all short term, but they control most of the short term if they want it to go a certain direction. So that's what Dwack is, and that's why you're probably seeing it in the news, that and Fun, as far as for like the rallies and stuff. So yeah, just be careful with that if you're thinking about getting a position, and stick to your numbers as far as for exits. Thank you, Marcus. Those will be what by the end of 2021. Um, so I think that because I was hoping that especially with AMC, I was hoping that would be a huge help. As far as if they were able to have it, um, the integration this year, and it looks like they're going to have it the first quarter of next year. That was one of the huge catalysts that I was hoping for. And with Doge, it's kind of hard to put um, a number on it, because I believe, and I mentioned this several times, I think that a lot of the people in Doge, I believe they're A, is retail money, and B, that they're new investors. So I think that, when you have them pulling money out for other investments like AMC, or chasing some of the newer coins like the knockoffs or the baby Doges and stuff, it's hard to ignore those gains. So I believe that's going to, in a short term, I believe it's had an effect on Doge's growth and reaction. But at the end of this year, I can see Doge, if we have like that catalyst and the other stocks are booming, like the one like Bitcoin and Ethereum, because of the AMC integration, and we get like a smooth catalyst for that. I think that people can potentially want to get in front of that before the first quarter of next year, when Doge has that integration. So that can certainly put us like 50 cents upwards of that. If that has a smooth integration, I think we can get in there. But until we have the catalyst and the structure here, as far as the people not having like shiny object syndrome, then we won't see Doge at like 100% of what it could be. Because I believe that Doge would have been a lot higher if it wasn't for any of the knockoff coins, or people, pretty much just the base being like relatively new and them chasing gains. I believe Doge would have been a lot higher than what it is now. But again, that's just my personal opinion. But based off of the emails that I get and the comments that I read on my channel, I stand by that statement. Um, Don, you're welcome, man. Only channel I remember of. Oh, appreciate that, Don. Any questions for me? Questions, comments, anything that I can do better to improve the channel? And I'll let you guys know here, since you're on the live. I'm going to be working out a section. It may be a different channel, I'm not sure, but I'm going to speak with some other creators, and we're going to pretty much dive in and have like these conversations on crypto and investing. And it's pretty much it's going to be like in a podcast form. I may do it on this channel, maybe a different channel, but I think that if we have like a meeting of the minds here, I think that we can provide a lot of value as far as the people. So I think that um, everyone will benefit from that greatly. So I just wanted to let you know that is in the works, and it should be completed within the next couple of weeks. I'm going to just finalizing a few other things. Why is everyone mad at Robinhood? um, let's see. Give us the short version. I'll give you. So the short version is earlier this year we had some rallies, and Robinhood wasn't the only company to limit trading or to halt trading, and but because of the amount of retailers that are in Robinhood, they kind of got the brunt end of the um, backlash as far as for halting trading. So what happens is when you have well, we had a movement in GameStop where you had a bunch of technically new investors. Robinhood had become the number one app in the world. It was the number one downloaded app. It was in the App Store. It was beating Facebook, social media, game sites, like literally a finance app was the number one downloaded app. And people were buying the app, and you got instant credit, and you were able to buy into this stock that was producing great gains. And of course, it was going up. And, of course, because of like liquidity issues and other things, um, they pretty much limited your ability to buy into the stock, but you could sell. So if you mix the inability to buy into a stock, which would pretty much cancel out any upward pressure, and you have a bunch of new investors who would panic if say, okay, I can't buy into the stock, and of course the stock is going down because you're not going to process any buy orders, but you'll process the sell orders. Then of course the stock only has one direction to go, which is down. And pretty much that left a bad taste in people's mouth because technically that is market manipulation. Because if I'm not allowing anyone to create upward pressure, and I'm only allowing you to create downward pressure because of my liquidity issues, and because I say I don't have the money to cover it, that is market manipulation. So that's one of the reasons people kind of swore off Robinhood, and they also did it again with Dogecoin too. This was, I forget the day, but it was they had some rally with Dogecoin. It was late at night, and they pretty much froze you weren't able to buy in Dogecoin either. So I believe that was kind of like the two strikes. They weren't going to give them three. So that was kind of like the huge catalyst for everybody saying screw Robinhood, because they technically GameStop, if people would have, because of the panic, it kind of cut GameStop's rally down. But if people would have held, GameStop would have definitely went into the thousands. But when you have new investors and you have panic and you only can create the stock going downward, it leaves a bad taste in the mouth. But they were one of the catalysts for that squeeze not going as high as it could have. I hope that answers your question. That's pretty much the short version. There's some interviews and stuff out there that'll give you more detail, but that's pretty much everything that happened in a nutshell. Do I think Doge will dip back to 20 to 19? It's possible, but there's a lot of support there. I'm always a buyer at Doge in the teens. I'm a big buyer there because once we get closer to the high end of the range, I believe I have the low at 12 cents. That's the highest. Well, that's in the correction range of like that 50 to 80, 90%. In the extreme, 12 cents will be like the extreme high of that. The lowest we got, I believe, was 16 cents before we had a strong bounce. And then we had that back and forth between like 20 and 23 cents, which is similar to the range that we're in now. It's possible that I can go back there if people will take profits, or if there's a catalyst and people will move their money around. That's always a possibility. But we have shown strong support and great bounces in the teen range. So in the teen range, I am always a buyer in that range. So I like to purchase there. And I do remember a question I missed. I think it says, uh, "I'll tell us when to buy and sell." Um, well, buy and sell what exactly? There's many tactics that you can use to buy and sell. And especially if you're using TA, or if you can use like RSI or like your MACDs. There's many catalysts that you can use, but it really just depends on what do you mean by buy and sell. Is that crypto, or is that stocks? Because those are a little different. Crypto is, you can use, like the technical analysis from the stock market in crypto, but it's kind of hard to chart it using those metrics right now, just because of the extreme volatility. So just, if you specify, I can answer it better. Dwack is good for trade or investment long term. Um, As of right now, I say Dwack is a good for was good for a trade. I'm not sure if it can go much higher. It can. Long term, that just depends on where your speculation. I do believe that if everything works out with these websites and the social media platform, that Dwack can actually realize higher returns. But that's all complete speculation. We have no idea of what the site's going to look like, the functions of the site. I do know it'll be supported at least to some degree by the masses, but I don't know as far as for the that would have to be like a almost like your startup investment companies as far as for like, how much faith do you have into it. That would be it's a lot of variables in there that we don't have, and we don't have enough information, I believe, to make that assessment to say if it's a long term. And it has the possibility of going there, but especially based off of now. But this is, I believe, most of the momentum that we saw now is just for short term. But we'll see where there's a consolidation period for Dwack and how many people that are saying, okay, well, we're going to be long term in this because we want to see where the social media platform goes. So it's very possible that Dwack can literally be pretty much like a non-spying version of Facebook, and this can be like one of the biggest upsets in history. And Dwack can be, several hundreds of thousands of dollars. It is a lot of information that we don't have just yet. It's possible, but I don't have enough information to make that decision. Everything that goes up comes down. The whole game is a long-term holding. If you see the assets are down, it's likely too late to take profits. Yeah, long-term investors, they tend to. It's. I mentioned this in the statement I put out yesterday. Most of us pick the right investments. We just don't hold long enough, and that's due to shiny object syndromes. And I'm pretty sure there's a lot of you in the chat right now that were in a position and it wasn't moving quick enough, or you saw another um, aspect or another stock or crypto that was moving faster, and you're like, okay, I'm going to sell and go over here, and the one that you were in, it did exactly what you thought it was going to do, and you lost money selling in the red. And if you just would have held, you would have made money. And I believe that happens to most people. It's happened to me too. So um, I think that if you're long term and you pick a solid company, you're going to realize those gains. But patience and discipline are major factors into the game. And I think that a lot of people um, they don't put enough emphasis as far as for how much patience and discipline plays a role into the market. So just kind of keep that in mind when you're sharpening your skills and looking at technical analysis and learning how to read charts. You never, you're not going to see patience and discipline on any chart. And I know a lot of people don't talk about it because they want to just kind of give you um, just say, okay, well, everything's in the charts. That's pretty much the main things that you're never going to find in a chart. You can't account for the media, like you can't account for Trump coming out and mentioning like a Dwack or like a fund or anything like that. You can't account for that. You can't chart it, and you can't account for your lack of discipline. You can't chart it. The only thing we know is that if with lack of discipline and your emotions, you're more likely to lose money. And if you let the uh, media would not control you. And if you're not disciplined enough to set specific gains, if you decide to jump on one of those trains, then of course you'll end up bag holding or just losing money altogether. So you got to kind of have those in mind before you make those investments. Let's see, what other YouTubers would you like to collab with? I'm going to do a poll on my channel, and I'll probably put it in the community section, and I'll let the group or the community as a whole decide. And then, of course, I'll reach out and see if they're interested, and then we'll go from there. Um, Typically, I like to let the people kind of see who's like a great fit because I don't watch a lot of other YouTubers because I kind of like to report based off of my own research, and I don't like necessarily being influenced by like other perspectives. I don't watch. There's not a lot of YouTubers that I actually watch, but if you guys think someone would be a great fit, I will reach out to them and we'll go from there. So yeah, you can comment that on any video. I go through most of the comments, but I'll create a post specifically for collaborations, and you guys just let me know who you think would be a great fit, and I'll do my part to kind of make that happen. Let's see, I got screwed and learned my lesson from staying in Doge. Yeah, you staying in Doge. Yeah, you got to be like I said, because a lot of people, we've been in Doge less than a year. Like we have no idea what Doge is going to look like 5 years from now and stuff like that, and any type of integrations that we're going to have. Like, don't be the guy selling Bitcoin for pizza. Like we have no idea. Like these long term, like it's hard. I know it's hard to predict the future. I know it's hard to hold through the red, but I think we have enough history now to kind of see what happens and well how the discipline are rewarded. So keep that in mind. You like shiny objects. I think you can't account for money coming on, but it helps you exit the money. Yeah, you can account for the money. That's you just kind of got to have like have your goals and everything set ahead of time, and then that way, if you have more, if there's more money coming in, or if your exit strategy, like even when it comes down to accounting for the money, or if it's like, oh my God, this stock did way better, or this crypto did way better than I thought it was. I thought it was going to do. If I take profit, then if it's just like my house money and I let the rest ride, you're not going to be in a position. And hopefully it can help you alleviate, those emotions from um, being on a stake saying, oh my God, I lost some money. Because a lot of times people in these positions, and I believe even inside of a squeeze, when you have people saying that, oh, okay, I'm going to hold this stock until it gets to 10,000 a share or something like that. Most people have not seen that kind of money before. And I've mentioned this in a lot of some of my older videos. You have to be careful about that because hold will eventually turn into don't sell before I do. So just kind of keep that in mind when you're, building your catalyst and planning out your exits for stocks or cryptos. My take on Cardano. I am very bullish on Cardano. I love Cardano. Um, I think that we're going to see it definitely over $10. I currently own them as well, ADA. So I think that I think the potential there is going to be massive. That I'm very, very, very bullish on them. I like the profit potential there, but I definitely think that we're going to especially I think that because typically I could think in like the next like 5 years terms and stuff like that. So I think that we're going to see multiple hundreds, if not thousands of percent in terms of profit with ADA. So that is one of my newer investments, but I'm certainly locked in and I believe in them. YouTube community governance collaboration. Nice. Yeah, I think that I think the community would be the best people to kind of pick out who would be a great fit as far as to come on. So, I trust everyone's judgment. So just kind of let me know. Thoughts on crypto mining company Greed that just acquired SPRT. I am unfamiliar. Hold on. I will put that in my note. That's something I need to look into. Give me 1 second. I'm just going to write that down. I will certainly look into this. And normally once a week or so, I'll send out like a long form email, kind of doing like a state of the market update. So I'll make sure my thoughts on that are in there. Thank you, Elijah. Okay. Do I know when AMC will start accepting crypto? I believe Adam, the CEO, he said around I think November or December. I think he said certainly this year, if I'm not mistaken. And then he said Doge, he plans to have it done sometime in the first quarter of next year. So, but I think that we're going to see AMC accepting crypto before Christmas. So we got some big movies coming out. So I think that it'll be certainly beneficial for AMC, even though that's probably the amount of manipulation I'm seeing there is crazy. But I think that when the final reports are out for this year and we see that they're no longer near bankruptcy and they've made billions and billions of dollars in profits, um, I think that should be a catalyst as far as to help push AMC in the right direction. Medic. Let's see what's GTE. I'm not sure what you're referring to. Have I heard about the shipping crisis at the docks? I have. Yeah, I definitely heard about that. From what I heard, that they are pretty much just trying like to work through it, but with the amount of inflation that we have now and the madness that's going on, it's alarming that even that any goods are that's not kind of like a top priority as far as the resolutions that we are seeing. Matter of fact, let me post this chart here. Well, I'm going to read it to you. I have a chart here based off of like the average inflation we've seen, kind of like from September 2020 to September 2021. So rental cars have seen an average of 43% increase, gas prices 42%, used cars 24%, bacon 19%, hotels 18%, beef 18%, pork 13%, eggs 13%, televisions 13%, kids shoes 12%, furniture 11%, new cars 9%, chicken 8%, apples 8%, restaurant meals 5%, and electricity 5%. We've already touched the record, and pretty much I think we've seen it by a little of inflation that the last time we saw was around the 2008 crash. So um, I don't think we need any more catalysts as far as to push this in the opposite direction, because I think that on average this year they're saying that unless you got a 5.3% raise, you got a pay cut this year. So um, we know that based off of how we're governed as far as for like minimum wage and all this kind of stuff like that, we know that they technically track inflation, and technically there has to be a significant amount before that's raised. But even if you have inflation at this rate, what we're seeing is that's going to, it's not even just that, like people working like lower end jobs or whatnot, that's going to destroy the middle class. So inflation, especially at these rates, we're going to have to um, have control over that, and not just we do things. I know we have like the bailout and a lot of that money, and a lot of that money has to be accounted for, but there has to be structures in there. And I don't want to get too far into that or whatnot, but roads and bridges are not going to get it done. Let's see here. Can't wait to see the candidates on the collaboration road. Yeah, no, yeah, me too. Yeah, I may make that post today, since it'll be fresh in everyone's mind. I'll put it in the community section, and you guys can leave it in the comments. Yeah, just leave like their channel names or some way I can find them, and then I'll go from there. They ban plastic bags. Yeah, I'm from what is it, Gainesville, Florida, and they don't have they pretty much had like some type of regulation against plastic straws. I went there like a while ago to, um, what was it, like I want to say like a few months ago, and you can't even have like the plastic straws. The straws are made out of paper, so you better drink quickly or your straw is going to collapse. So it's a lot of stuff going on when it comes down as far as for saving the environment, and pretty much I guess in an effort to push things in the right direction. But where I'm from is kind of it's a college town, so stuff like that and laws like that kind of don't surprise me. But I have seen some legislation similar to that. Doge is creeping up right now. That's good. I know a lot of people are in the red, and I just, when it comes down to Doge, I typically give my tactics to as far as for averaging down and entry points and stuff like that, because I make sure that I'm on convenient, because I posted my entries and even my first entry recently in the Doge, and I know that um, if you are in the red, I know the emotional toll that it can take on you, and you just kind of got to be, you just consider this training and stuff for the market, especially if you're going to be in the market for like the duration of your lives. Everyone's in the red at some point. I've been in the red thousands and thousands of dollars, so you kind of just got to take that as training. But if it's going up, that's great news. But Just have your plan and stick to it and don't get caught up in the short term unless you actually are short term. If you're long term, just ignore the short term, and coin count's going to have a heavier weight overall. Let's see. Just wanted to show some love with this super chat. You do amazing work. Oh, thank you. I appreciate you. It'll drive prices up if they have the docs full right now. Yeah, it will. Yeah, it will. That's what I was saying. We don't need any more catalysts to push the stock up or anything. I mean, not the stock. Excuse me. We don't need any more catalysts to push inflation up or anything, because we all know prices come down a lot slower than they go up. Let's see. Since Bitcoin went stock, everything ran up. Bitcoin went to an all-time high. My thought is this could be a mistake. Everything is dropped and froze up. I put almost everything on Shiba. Since Bitcoin went stock, are you referring to the ETF? Yeah, because I think that even when you have ETFs come out, because I've had this discussion several times, I'm not a fan of the ETFs. Um, I think you can. I'm not a fan of the ETFs, but when you have these companies that come out, because the ETF pretty much is a derivative, and you can attach assets to it or whatever the case may be. But my whole thing is, okay, what's the derivative split? Because it can't be a 1-to-1, because I need to know how you're going to make money. And when you have companies like that, you'll see people like me or even institutions, which I believe are very heavily invested in the Bitcoin. They're going to want to actually own the coin, because we've seen this happen with any of the other assets, especially when you get into cryptocurrencies or something that kind of threatens the dollar. We've seen this with gold a lot too, and gold ETFs. We have more gold on paper than we have that actually exist. So, are we going to see something like that with Bitcoin? Like, we have to kind of, make sure that we are looking at history and on the forefront of things. And I think that when you have like some seasoned investors and ones that have been investing for a long time, and the institutions, they're going to say, I want to own Bitcoin flat out. So I think that that was a big push as far as for sending Bitcoin to all-time highs, because people are saying, hey, I want to own this right out. I don't want any ETFs. I don't want anything on paper. I don't want a derivative. I don't want any 3-to-1 splits or whatever the case may be. So I think a lot of people jumped in and said, okay, well, while we can purchase these instead of at the derivative, let's just go ahead and lock in these prices now, especially with ETFs, because that kind of helps with longevity and access as well. So I think that that was a factor in the push that we've seen recently. Um, Plastic bag. No, we don't have a plastic bag ban, not that I know of. This was just like literally like drinking straws that you like would drink your drink through. This was just in my hometown, Gainesville. I don't know about if it's. I doubt it's national. I mean, statewide, but this is just in my hometown. Um, my take on Cardano. No, I'm. Yeah, I said that a while ago, but yeah, I'm bullish on Cardano. I actually own some. That's one of my more recent positions that I added. Yeah, those straws are nasty. Yeah, they sure are. You're pretty much tasting the straw. But yeah, that's one of my more recent positions that I've added. So I like Cardano a lot, and I have a very optimistic view on it for the future. So I look at these in terms of like 5 years. So I think that we're going to see a great return within like the next 5 years or so, or even longer than that. But I'm very bullish on Cardano. Let's see. Extremely bloody red just for Halloween, I hope. Yeah, I think um yeah, just for Halloween. After Halloween we'll get a turnaround. Hopefully. At the time of the ETF, Bitcoin jumped to 67 and dropped to 61. Yeah, I think that because even when just the whole purpose of this live was to pretty much discuss like the media and their control that they have short term. Yeah, so when you have a new catalyst coming out, whether that's a Bitcoin ETF and stuff like that, and they get a bunch of free press, you can expect a run. And I think that's what people did with Phun and Dwac. Like you can expect a run, but you have to understand that when you all that new money that comes in, some of them have no intentions of being long term. They're going to take profits. So when you have like that huge run up, you can always see, even when it comes down to like the squeezes, or if you look at any of the stocks that have these run ups today, you'll see the run up and you see the run down. Like, people are going to take profits. That's just A, it's smart investing, and B, you have to understand that most of these people are, they're there for, a good time, not a long time. So, they're going to take their profits. So, I do believe long term it's not going to have an effect as far as like on Bitcoin. Again, I'm not a fan of the ETFs, but I think that overall Bitcoin is still going to climb into six figures. So long term, we're fine, but we'll have these corrections or pullbacks when people decide to take profits. Especially, if it's running up 7 grand or so within like a day or so. So people are going to hedge themselves and take profits. So that's just good investing. Iron ore dropped hard in the 2008 crisis. We'll see a lot of swinging in the markets. 43.90, 30. Yeah, we'll see a lot of swings in the market, especially if we have catalysts for stocks that are giving 1,000% returns. Money is going to be moved around because you may not get that. The thought sentiment behind that is, okay, I may not get that 1,000%, but if I can get 50% or 100%, if I can just catch some of that, I'll be fine. So you can expect money to be moved around from a lot of different areas. So um, you can expect that. Ken, this is the first time for me chatting on live stream. Just wondering if my chats are being seen. Yeah, I can see it. I saw earlier you did. It just says $5. You didn't put a question in there. I've actually never done the. This is like my first time doing the super chats thing. I don't even know. Normally it has like a question in there, but if you have something, I'll see it. So you can post it. When the market is red, I lose 40 to $50. When the market is green, I make like 12 cents, $4 to $5. It's frustrating. Yeah, I mean, I don't know what all the positions that you're in, but yeah, when when you have like the market and you have these corrections, like if the stocks that you have, or the cryptos you have conviction in, and that you're long term, yeah, take advantage of that to bring your DCA down, because what that typically means is if you go that far red on a red day and barely up on a green day, that pretty much just means that you're close to your buy-in point is close to the equilibrium. So when you have those swings down, you bring your DCA down, and then that way you'll have the room as far as to be below the equilibrium, and you'll be in the green more often. Or if you need to take profit or so, it won't be a pain to do so because you won't sit in the red. Because if the market goes up and you're barely making money, you're really close to the equilibrium. Let's see. Even thank you. Yeah, no problem. You have a great weekend too. Big tuna. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, definitely average down if you can. Justin, he was just tipping you. Okay, I appreciate it. Researching whatever's at the docks. Yeah, whatever's at the docks is it can play a role, especially the toilet paper. We all seen what happened last year with toilet paper. Like a little while longer, toilet paper would have been as valuable as water, I guess. Do I think Doge will run when wallets, and when wallets you think? I'm assuming you mean with Robinhood. I honestly don't believe the wallets are going to have that dramatic of an effect. Maybe on Robinhood, for example. I'm not sure if you're talking about something else, but I really don't see how the wallets would have that much of an effect as far as on Dogecoin, because you can buy Dogecoin on other platforms, and if you wanted to sell your Dogecoin, you could. So I don't see I think the biggest catalyst here is people moving their. If you talk about Robinhood, I think the biggest catalyst here is going to be people moving their wallets. I mean, not their wallets, their Dogecoin from Robinhood. I don't see how that would, you know, um, have like a positive or a negative effect, because you have options to buy, and if you want to sell or be done with Robinhood, you can you can sell on there. So I think the biggest issue was when Dogecoin was not listed on other platforms a lot, and you kind of had to go through like a Robinhood. It was the most easily accessible one to purchase your Dogecoin. So at that point, they kind of had a monopoly. It was like, okay, well, you kind of have to come through us. But now that there's more options, if you want to buy Dogecoin, it's not like Robin. It's not like I hate Robinhood so much that I don't have anywhere to go to buy Robinhood. So I don't think that it's going to have that big of an effect. Um, but yeah, I think short term, I do think Robinhood has the ability to kind of mend some of the damage that it's done and survive what's taking place here. But I think that Doge will. I think that most people will transfer off of Robinhood when these wallets come out. But I do think that Robinhood will survive a lot of the negative backlash that they've got this year. So, um, and a side note, I did buy. Listen, what did I buy Robinhood at? I think I don't know. I bought it when it first came out, and I sold it like 50 or 60. I made like almost 100%. I wasn't going to short it just because only God knows. I see what happens with short stocks. So I made jokes that I was, but I definitely didn't do it. But I made like 100% when it first it came out. I do think they will survive, but I don't think that it will. Dogecoin will have a major factor with any of that. Tell me what's going on. Yeah, I heard about that. I haven't looked at the numbers, but I heard there was a rally going on today. Um, Robinhood will move Shiba when they list it and burn a couple trillion of Shiba Inu. Yeah, I seen that today, even on the post that they mentioned that they weren't. What were they doing? They weren't shorting. Excuse me, they weren't halting any of the stocks today. I saw that a lot of the catalysts on there were saying that, oh hey, we're not. They were saying, hey, when are you going to list Shiba and stuff like that. So I think that um, they're going to make a lot of money when Shiba is listed on there. So maybe that can be their swap. If Vlad is smart, if he sees that the Shiba community wants it to be listed on Robinhood, and you already angered the Doge community, if he's smart, he should do this swap and kind of like, okay, here's the wallets. So I know Dogecoin is going to leave, but I can take the Shiba community and kind of, if he's smart, he'll do that. It'll certainly work out to Robinhood's favor. So that could be a great point. Robinhood made a fortune from crypto for sure. If I'm not mistaken, I forget the percentages, but they made most of their money this year from crypto. So 70% of Doge is on Robinhood. So if it pumps at the same time, people won't want to miss the run and stay in Robinhood. If it pumps at the same time, or at the same time as the wallet comes out, yeah, I mean, that could be a catalyst because I know a lot of people were doing that even when it came down to transferring like their stocks or like from ANC, for example, when they were transferring from payment for order flow to lit exchanges, they're saying that, okay, I don't want my stocks to be, in limbo if something were to pop off and I'm not able to execute. So yeah, that could very well be a catalyst, Brandon. Absolutely. Okay, so I'm thinking about doing these lives well, I know I did a vote and everyone kind of like voted for like Sunday. So I'm gonna have to try and incorporate that maybe like earlier in the day to do like some lives, maybe one or two um, in the week. And because it gives me an opportunity to connect with you guys better. And B, I don't have to edit the video. So any of the things that's going on that requires me to edit the videos, I don't have to do, which I absolutely love not editing. So I'll make the finalized announcement on when I'm going to do um, the lives on my community section. And I'm also going to post the who you guys think I should collaborate with as well in my community section because I think that you guys kind of, I'm sure you guys have like your favorite influencers and stuff where you like to get information. So whoever you'd like for me to sit down with, your YouTuber, influencer, whatever the case may be, let me know. And Doge is pumping. Hold on. Okay, let me see. I don't mention my DCA a lot, but with Doge, I don't like even in the short term because like I'm held on long term because I started buying Doge at around like 2 cents. Most of my averages are around like 5 cents. So I don't check it that often as far as for long term, I'll have like my positions if I'm going to like increase and say, okay, it's in the team, so I'm going to increase my position. But as far as for overall, typically I'm in the green, so it's hold on here. What is Doge? Oh yeah, got a little rocket there, almost at 25 cents. Are any of the other cryptos? Let me check Bitcoin and stuff. See if Doge is going rogue. I don't know if any of the other cryptos are booming yet. Oh, Bitcoin is down still. Bitcoin is red. Okay, so we got a green candle. Doge is going a little rogue here. Okay. Good for Doge. Yeah, I think that we'll see as far as like the breakout. But if Doge dipped down to like the teens range again, I would certainly um increase my position. I don't mind 'cause on the platforms I do buy. I don't. Oh, Elon tweeted. Okay, I didn't know. Okay, yeah, we may break out of that stagnation period. I saw that. I know we've been stagnant around like 24, 25, but if Elon is being specific, that can be a catalyst to kind of break out of that. Stocks are pumping today, so there's a lot of money in the market. So that can be a catalyst for it to break that stagnation period. So that can certainly do it. What did he tweet? See now I'm going to be nosy. Let's see here. I'm going to go to Elon. What did he say? I don't see. What did he say? I see the Starbase under construction. He said Matt tweeted it. Let me just go to his page. Oh, okay. So this was a response to a comment. Oh, he said he's going to be a trillionaire. So UberFact said Elon Musk is predicted to become the world's first trillionaire thanks to SpaceX. And Elon said he pretty much corrected them and said in Dogecoin. So okay, so yeah, maybe we may break out of that that 24 or 25 cents range. Doge is pumping actually green. Yeah, I see that. Yeah, so he pretty much said he's going to be a trillionaire in Dogecoin. Um, waiting for the bull run. Meantime, accumulating Doge. Yeah, that is awesome. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put the I'm going to put the question out there on kind of the community section. So if you have your favorite influencers, let me know who you want me to connect with, and I will reach out and do my part and try and set everything up to have them on, and we'll do like a sit down. Maybe it'll even be a live or something, and we'll go from there. And I will also announce when I will have the concrete versions of when I'm going to do lives on the channel. I just kind of got to work that in between like my research and other projects. So I'll let you guys know. I got to run for now. So I appreciate all of you. This is my second live. So my book, yes, almost done. Pretty much just weeding through, trying to get all the typos out. I'm shooting for next week. For those of you that have been for those of you that were in that first 100 that responded to that post, I'll send out the links and we'll have our chat about the book and everything, and we'll go over that like pretty much like a day or two before I give it to everyone else, and it'll be out. But I'm shooting for next week, so am I going to buy more Dogecoin when I'm off? Yeah, I have a lot of Dogecoin already, but I typically buy Dogecoin when it's in the teens. So especially now because my DCA is so low and I have so many that if it drops, I'm comfortable buying in the teens because I like that price point for now because we get some really great bounces, especially with us being so close to that historic range to get bounces. So how much will I think the stock is going to go up? I don't know what stock you're referring to. Good talk. Thank you. Um, with that tweet, here come all the Doge tubers. Yeah. Yeah, just be careful with the the Doge tubers. And I know I made a post the other day saying that this is my first investment, so I'm going to create a YouTube channel to kind of pump it. Just be careful with that, because there's different kinds of channels out there, and I know that you have your information channels and you have your hype channels, and all of them have their purpose. And I think that when you're looking for information or if you're going to do an investment, just kind of evaluate, the person. Okay, what were they doing, before Doge? Are they taking the YouTube money and putting it in the Doge? Like, you got to answer these kinds of questions to kind of see where you're getting your information from. All these YouTube channels and influencers, they all have like their place. But when you say, okay, I'm going to take this to heart and start investing my money or use this person as a resource, you just gotta make sure they know what they're talking about and not just regurgitating information, because there's a lot of people I see that, and I think that it can possibly, especially now, it's becoming like a trend. It could possibly end up hurting a lot of people when you have the channels that kind of just, it's okay if you want to report the news, but if you're just promoting the hype and not giving, like any like fundamentals, and people are just investing directly on what you say, you're putting them in a position to lose. And then if this is your only investment, or if you just start investing, then I start doing other questions as well, as far as to where you're getting the information and if you're just hyping your investment. But I'm not going to get into that because I don't want to, I don't want to start anything on YouTube. But I'll just be careful. Just be careful. I'll say that. Um, thank you. You did great. Thank you. I appreciate all of you. How much do I think Dwack will be on Monday? It's hard to say. It can certainly rally again. I can't give a prediction on that. It's hard to say. Doge tubers. Let's see. You want hype? I don't- yeah, I mean, I don't know. I might start saying to the moon more often, so that way so YouTube will promote my channel more. I don't know. I think it's something in the algorithm. I don't know. That's an old Elon quote. Older than a few hours matters, not a week or two. You'll miss your chance. Hmm. Let's see. I'm not saying any names. I'm not talking about anyone. I'm just putting it out there. It's a general statement. Um, just putting it out there for everyone to, just make, the decisions, and, be safe as far as for your investments and where you get your information. So I want the best for each of you. So Would Dwack continue going down? It's possible. I saw some short positions even on Fun arising, and some sell walls. So there's people that you know, you can make money on stocks going either direction. So you're the people that say I want it to go to the moon, and then you have people who say, okay, well, this stock is $200 now. I know it's not worth $200. I'm going to short it back down, and I'm going to make money that way. So you have people that like to play it both ways. So it can certainly go down, and when it comes down to people that short stocks, we know that even hedge funds and stuff like that, more people make money, especially on stocks like this that have these fast run-ups. The opportunity for them to make a tremendous amount of money is just as fast as the people that made it going up. So they have their long-term plays, but when they see these stocks that they believe are overvalued, they're going to pile in to short it to try and make gains as quickly as possible. So and they have a lot of money. So yeah, just be careful, but it can certainly go down. But I do believe that if the support's there and people are believing that it's going to be something special when the site is finished, we can see much higher price points than where it is now. Um, Coinbase is I've heard great things about it. I have a platform on there. I haven't really done much with it, but I heard that Coinbase is pretty good. So um, okay. So with that being said, I'm going to put everything in the chat, the community section. Let me know what influencers or community you want me to sit down with, and I will reach out. I appreciate all of you. And until next time, thank you guys for coming to the live.